anything in Vinnie Junior to ask that point. That's got to be nonsense, Ben, hasn't it?
No, it's not nonsense. Arsenal are serious about Vinnie Junior, and we've said many times on TalkSport, this week is key because Real Madrid are pushing Vinnie Junior for an answer. And when I say they want an answer, I mean today, tomorrow, rather than a long-running saga. And I know Arsenal fans or others in football from the Premier League rival clubs might think Arsenal are the stalking horse. Arsenal are the leverage. Vinnie Junior is going to get what he wants from Real Madrid, end of saga. And absolutely, he could renew. And if that outcome is to happen, it's a today, tomorrow, this week kind of saga. But if it goes to, say, Friday, or even early next week at the latest, and we're still back and forth between Vinnie Junior and Real Madrid, even though Jose wants to keep the player, Florentino Perez is going to say, line drawn, you're for sale. Because even though technically there's the option of him staying and them continuing these renewal talks when the window shuts, Perez will not allow that because he doesn't want to let the player leave on a free. And Yan Diomande is going to arrive. He can play on the left. Kylian Mbappe, arguably his best position is as left attacker, left winger, rather than leading the line in a more central position. So Real are prepared to sell, and they're the ones, not the Vinny camp, using Arsenal as leverage and saying, we're going to have this offer from the Gunners. So you renew now, or we're prepared to sell. And Arsenal are not just sitting on their laurels and waiting for this to play out. They've made their offer. Yeah. They've pitched their terms to the player. They're higher than Real are prepared to pay. So Arsenal have done everything in their power on the player side to be proactive. And now Real are countering and hoping that the player's heart is with Real Madrid and he'll concede and sign for less than Arsenal are offering. If he gives the answer and it's no renewal, then it's game on for Arsenal to start club-to-club talks with suddenly, in that scenario, a Real club, at least Florentino Perez, that would be prepared to sell.
Today is the most important day for Vinnie Junior's future at Real Madrid. A meeting has just finished between Vinnie and his representatives and Real Madrid. Madrid have said since the very start they do not want to let him leave for free in June of 2027. The outcome of that meeting is going to be announced later today or in the coming days. David Ornstein has said that Newcastle have sanctioned a sale for Bruno Guimaraes to join Arsenal for around 75 million. Fabrizio Romano said that here we go. There is a lot to get into. Romano has given updates with regards to this meeting. He's spoken about it on his YouTube channel. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you go down, drop a like immediately if you haven't already. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. The road to 150,000 subscribers is well and truly on. But you, yes, you watching right there, 90% of you watch daily, but do not hit that subscribe button. It's free, helps me out. You guys get notified when I put content out. It's as simple as that. Now, I want to jump straight into the David Ornstein tweet from this morning. And he says, Newcastle United to sanction sale of Bruno G to Arsenal for 75 million. You know, Lyon are entitled to 20% profit. The 28-year-old apparently has his medical booked at some point this week. And Romano sealed it with breaking Bruno G to Arsenal. Here we go. Agreement in place with Newcastle after long talks and personal terms in place with Bruno since July. Fee, 75 million quid. Now, to be honest with you, people are saying, oh, he's overpriced, etc. Ultimately, you're getting one of the best deep line playmakers in the Premier League. You are getting one of the best central midfielders in the Premier League. I don't really see how this could be bad business for Arsenal, and I don't really subscribe to that narrative. I do think it's very good business for Arsenal. Two very good signings so far with Zolis and Bruno G. But this window for Arsenal could go from being a great window to an unbelievable window. This could be the biggest transfer window in Arsenal's history. Maybe not in terms of transfer fee, but in terms of the player that they are speaking to. To give you some context, Manchester City are trying to sign Pedro Neto. Arsenal are trying to sign Vinicius Junior. That is the level of player they are attracting. Now listen, Pedro Neto, of course, worked at Chelsea with Enzo Maresca, but he's very inconsistent, was very good at Wolves, had a few injuries at Chelsea, not at the level for me to go and really push on and take City to the next level. Vinnie Junior in an Arsenal shirt, one of the best footballers on the planet, world class, won Champions Leagues, scored in Champions League finals, ultimately right now there is levels to what sort of player they can attract. Now, Ben Jacobs, and not only that, this David Schill guy, who's tweeted out from Fabrizio Romano and said, Vinnie Junior's representatives have arrived in Madrid for negotiations with Real Madrid over the Brazilian's future. A key meeting involving Vinicius, his agent, and Real Madrid is set to take place. Key wording here, though, is Real Madrid are determined not to enter 2027 without resolving Vinnie Junior's situation. Now, this situation is completely open. He could stay at Real Madrid. He could go and join Arsenal. It literally, like at this point, flip a coin. When this first came out, I thought, there's no way. There is absolutely no way that he will be joining Arsenal. I was adamant he will be staying at Real Madrid. The more this goes on, though, the more the player is going to get a bit uncertain. There's going to be more uncertainty. What doesn't help is Real Madrid are close to full agreement with RB Leipzig to sign Jan Diomande. That's coming out from The Athletic. Player is joining Leipzig's camp in Austria, while the board ratify the